This episode is sponsored by Jacobson Real Estate Company. Are you ready to find your dream home? Or maybe you're thinking about selling and want the best deal possible? Well, look no further. At Jacobson Real Estate Company, we make buying or selling your home smooth, stress-free, and exciting. With 50 plus years of experience and a deep knowledge of the Winona, Minnesota area market, we specialize in turning your real estate goals into reality. Whether it's finding that perfect neighborhood, negotiating top dollar for your property, or answering all of your questions along the way, we're here for you. Plus, with our personalized approach, you're not just a client, you're family. So why wait? Let Jacobson Real Estate Company open the door to your future. Call us today at 507-313-2716 or visit our website at jacobsonrealestatecompany.com. Because your next chapter starts here. Buy, sell, invest. Jacobson Real Estate Company. Welcome to this week's edition of Brews Cruise. I am your host, Chris Jacobson, and today on the podcast, we are going to be diving into the local trivia scene, the stories behind hosting, and a powerful journey from stepping behind the mic to navigating a recent autism diagnosis. This episode is a fun one. It's real, and it's also going to be inspiring. Jason Russert, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on in. And before we get into everything, you requested the classic Busch Lattes.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everyone just loves Busch Lattes. So
yeah, I'm not a craft beer kind of guy.
And see, I never was until, Island City showed up, and then I got into it a little bit, and then I got really into it, but these are always a classic standby for, especially going on the river. So crack the bad boy open. Oh yeah, that's the sound of refreshment. Now, you and me, we actually go back quite a ways.
Yep.
I was two of your kids' teachers.
Yep.
And I've sold you and your wife a house.
Yes.
So we've known each other for a while.
Our dream house.
In your dream house. And I saw you guys did some
We
remodeling.
want to die on that sucker.
Okay. Don't die soon.
Well, I plan not to. But
That's good. And I saw you guys did some remodeling because I saw you bashing down walls.
Yeah, the wife had the whole kitchen redone. It was one of the agreements we made when we moved in. She loved it except for the kitchen and the tile. She hated the tile. And so, yeah, she took out a hefty loan to get that done, but she's finally happy with what she has.
Well, yeah, and I saw you guys took sledgehammers and let the kids have at it, too.
Oh, yeah, a little, got to let them have a little bit of fun.
I can only imagine Xander had some of the most fun there.
You know what? I don't even know if he was home at that time because he was in Duluth.
Oh, sure.
Going to St. Scholastica.
Okay. Is he still in college then? Or is he graduated
He actually
now?
moved back home last fall or last summer. And, the summer before, the one that just went by.
Yep.
And he decided to continue his school here. He's going to be a physical therapist, and he's looking at moving to Fargo soon to be with his girlfriend.
Okay. Well, I just saw him, maybe it was the previous summer, but he was talking about, I think he had just graduated, and I couldn't remember what he was doing, but physical therapy rings a bell. So for those who are listening, can you just give us a short, brief background on who you are? Maybe like interest, job, stuff like that, and we'll get into it.
My name's Jason Russert. Not super interesting guy. Blue collar most of my life. I used to work at the hot fish shop years ago. I was the first waiter there ever. I worked there until they closed in 98 or 99. It was right after the Falcons-Broncos Super Bowl.
Oh, wow, you remember that?
It was like the weekend after. That's the autism. but and I really enjoyed that job. That was something that helped me get over my shyness a bit. And then I worked at Winona Lighting with my dad for several years until Acuity bought it, and they kind of cleaned house a little bit. But, yeah, I worked there for 26 years. And my oldest son, who works at Fastenal, decided to talk me into applying there because my body was taking a wear and tear after walking on concrete for 26 years.
Yeah.
So I applied at Fastenal, and by the time I had my first interview, I was mentally done with my previous job. I knew I wanted to work there.
Really?
Yeah, and it's just, I used to think I wanted to be like a computer science guy until I had a buddy that did it, and he was always like getting called in on weekends and stuff. I'm
Sure.
like, no, that ain't me. But I always just wanted to have a computer in front of me, doing spreadsheets, boring shit like that, you know? It may not sound like the dream job for most people, but hey, I get to work with my son every day, get to have lunch with him every day, and the people there have just been great.
Well, and I have that with my dad too. I work with him basically every single day with real estate and rental properties. So when I get older, maybe my daughter will want to work with me and whatever that is. So that is pretty cool. Not everyone gets to say that. So that is
Well,
nice.
it ain't like you're necessarily spending quality time, but you're always seeing them, you're catching up with them, even if, when I worked with my dad, even though he worked in a different department, I still talked to him every day and still got to see him every day. Yeah. So it was important to me.
Well, that's really cool. Now, for those who are listening, I'm pretty sure they're going to want to know a little bit about the Hot Fish Shop because that was a historic place in Winona. So you were there until the last day, and you were the first waiter?
My girlfriend, now wife, asked me out on May 22nd, 1992. As soon as I hung up the phone with her, I got the call from the Hot Fish Shop saying that they were going to hire me. It was my first real job. I did work for the Christian Brothers with my grandma, but this is my first job where I got like a paycheck.
Okay.
And I worked there as a dishwasher for a few months, and then as a busboy, and then after a while, with the support of the waitresses there, because that's all they had was waitresses, I got the courage to ask to be a waiter, which was much to the dismay of the Cushnays' male children that were there. They always wanted to be first, and it's still, if you know Derek Cushnay at all, he still reminds me of it all the time. He says, "How did you get to be a waiter before me?" But I loved it, I liked, it was like my goal to turn people's mood around. If they came in grumpy, I didn't feed off it. I just tried to not ignore it, but just tried to do whatever I could to make their day a little better.
Sure. Well, now for those who are listening that may not be as old, it's now a Dairy Queen.
Yes, and I'm sorry, and Mandy also worked there. So
Mandy worked there too?
Yep, so we got a lot of hanging out at work
Sure.
in the early stages of our relationship. She worked there for a few years, and then she went on to do other stuff, went to school and stuff. I did some school and started having kids.
Sure. Well, and then you didn't get into daycare like she was. So
No, and that was a bit later. She did some, she had a few jobs, and went to school for dental assisting, but
Sure.
decided that wasn't the path she wanted to take. So
Gotcha. Well, that's really cool because Hot Fish Shop was like a staple in this town.
It was, and I'm very proud to say I got to work there because it was great because they had like bands every night. And because they had an apartment upstairs where the bands could stay, and I partied with like real people, like the Fireballs. They're a real band. I partied with them. They were pretty much washed up by the '90s, but there was other bands, Johnny Green, the Green Men. They were all people that were in like the old Batman show as the Joker's henchmen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what you're talking about because I never heard of them, but that's really kind of neat.
Yeah, and it was like I could go hang out there any night of the week and just go hang out in the bar after work or whatever and watch some music. And I know it's kind of died off, and Winona live music is kind of
here and there, yeah.
But it was really neat in the '90s.
Yeah, and my dad, he also worked for the Mississippi Queen back in I think it was like the early '80s, and they had some of those big bands came, and then wrestlers from AWF used to come down, so I used to see them. But that was before everything became really really big and monetized with media and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, those are some fun days. It sounds like back then when you go in and see some of these band members that used to come and play and then party afterwards with them. That's cool.
Yep.
Well, now you're big into the local trivia scene, and by local, are we talking Winona or have you expanded out? Because I don't remember you hosting until just recently.
Right.
So are you in La Crosse or just is Winona right now at the moment?
So it's based out of Holman, La Crosse area.
Holman, La Crosse.
It's like a 50-mile radius.
Okay.
This league for DJ trivia. I sub in those areas sometimes, but it is a drive. Where I currently host since last December is Wellington's on Tuesday nights.
Yep.
And recently, my brother-in-law, he owns Twin Bluffs Bar,
Okay.
Dave Brumrick. he asked if we could do trivia out there. So we started doing that on Monday nights at 6:30. It's slowly picking up pace out there. It's kind of got a local team that come, and every now and then there's a table that comes in, and or there's people that come in not intending to play trivia, and I'll be like, hey, it's free to play. So I'm trying to get. I'm always trying to spread the word because I just think that it's just a great outlet.
Sure.
I started playing. I quit smoking in 2012, and I moved in 2016. So I want to say around 2014 or so, I started playing at the Goodview Bar.
Okay.
My parents were actually doing it, and I was staying out of bars because I had recently quit smoking and trying to find a trigger. But I was kind of upset that they didn't let me know about it right away because, that's my thing. That's all we did growing up. We'd play Trivial Pursuit,
Sure. I remember you go down to Jefferson's bar.
Yep, used to have those little things.
Little cards in the middle. I remember that, and then you'd ask questions. But, the thing is about that, once they're printed, that's all the questions are going to be. With DJ Trivia, I assume it's, some digital, and they probably throw in questions that are new all the time.
Well, this is great because it's a nationwide thing.
Yes.
There's DJ Trivia in Florida, DJ Trivia in California, and everyone on a Monday has the same questions.
Okay.
So people in San Francisco, if they're playing on a Monday, we're having the same questions at Twin Bluffs.
Okay.
I don't make the questions. I don't choose the music between the questions. But it's the format, really, that makes it so great.
Sure.
Because a lot of people, you ask them if they want to play trivia. Oh, I don't know anything. Everybody knows something. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that with it being multiple choice for the most part, even if you don't know, you can come to a consensus with your team, or even you got a 1 in 4 chance of guessing the right answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes they put something ridiculous in there where it's a 1 in 3 chance.
Sure.
Last night we had the Washington Monument was built to honor whom? And the choices were like Denzel Washington, George Washington Carver, George Washington. Come on. Everyone knows it was George Washington.
And see, that's what I know. So then usually it becomes a social because I don't know some detailed things, but you're right. The one thing about DJ Trivia that's different is that it's multiple choice for most of the questions, not all of the questions. So that does help you out because if you go to certain trivias, it's just like you got to guess with your team. So it is kind of nice that some of them or a lot of them have a 1 in 4 chance or even a 1 in 3 if you look at some of the weird answers. So that's a very nice feature about that. And the one thing you got to remember, he doesn't choose the questions, folks, he's just the messenger. So don't kill the messenger. All right.
I have thrown out a question or two.
Have you? Okay.
There was a question about England, where the answer was England, and it was wrong. The answer would be Great Britain.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand that England is not Great Britain, is not United Kingdom. England is one country within Great Britain, along with Great Britain would be England, Wales, Scotland, and what's the other one? England, Wales, Scotland. No, that would be Britain.
Okay.
And you add Northern Ireland on there, then you have United Kingdom. But Britain is the island.
Okay.
So I'm like, no, because the right answer was not available.
Oh, so you knew that.
I knew that. So I threw the question out.
Okay.
But usually these questions are vetted pretty good.
Okay. So when you threw the question out, then did you come up with your own on the spot then?
Nope. I just gave everyone points.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because if they
fair.
only have a allotted amount of questions for that evening, then
Right.
there's nothing else in the, backup questions, I guess. You couldn't just make up a backup question.
Well,
So
I don't know. I've only had to do that once, and that was because I had so many teams do a tiebreaker,
Yeah.
or I had 3 teams do a tiebreaker, and they all answered at the same time with the same answer. So I had to come up with one on my own to break that tie. It doesn't happen often.
I host trivia down at 2 Fathoms, and that's the only place I've ever hosted, but we have to come up with our own questions. And at one point, I had 2 teams. They kept getting all the final questions right. So I keep asking them, and I had them right next to me. I go, you know what? We're going to do rock, paper, scissors for who's going to win because you guys have known 3 in a row, and I'm sitting there trying to come up with questions on the spot on, Google, which a lot of the people that go to trivia, they know their trivia. It's not like you're going to really stump them with just generic questions off of Google. So I had to do rock, paper, scissors one time. And that was funny because everyone's getting all hyped up for it, but that was what I did one time.
The great thing about trivia is I used to watch shows that had pub trivia or cartoons like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I'm like, I would love there to be pub trivia, and it wasn't in Winona at the time.
I don't remember it being around until like maybe 2018 in this town.
It was around a little before that at the Goodview
Oh,
Bar. But,
okay.
2018 was when it kind of, I think, peaked, where we had to start breaking up into not just going to the championship, but going to playoff before the championship. And then COVID hit, and that sucked, and everything went to hell for a while.
Yeah.
But trivia itself, I just think, because you get your people that are in the pool league, you got people that bowl, you got people that play softball.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really like any of that shit. I like learning stuff.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed trivia a lot. My team always made it to the championships. We did well. We tied for first once in 2018. We lost a tiebreaker. It was a kick in the nuts, and that was before they even had the trophy. Now they get this trophy of Einstein, and they set it on the table when you win. Never got it. But I got to a point where I was playing and loving it, but I didn't have as dedicated of a team as I used to.
Sure.
Certain people would come, certain wouldn't. It was only like 4 of us that would come consistently, and it wasn't as fun anymore.
Okay.
We weren't competitive. And it's not just because we were at Wellington's and there was other teams. It is humbling. For a while, I'm the only one that knows these flags. And then all of a sudden, like, other people know what that flag is. Well, what right do you have to know that? That's my thing.
Flags are my thing.
So it's very humbling when you're like the smartest guy in the room for a while, or seemingly, because you make right decisions and end up winning. And then there's people that can compete with you. And not like there hasn't ever been, like, they've always been competitive at Goodview Bar, but we only had usually 5 or 6 teams. You get to Wellington's, we got 10 to 15 teams every night.
I noticed that because that's where I would go, and that's the first time I ever heard of DJ Trivia is when I went like 2 years ago, and I was going there pretty regularly, and then I had a baby, so I had to kind of pick and choose my battles here of what I'm going to do. I would like to go back there, but you brought up another thing that I didn't know about. So is there seasons then of DJ Trivia?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
I mean, you can play for it goes all year round.
Okay.
You get a gift card. Top 3 teams get a gift card every time.
Okay.
But there is a winter, spring season and a summer, fall season. You play for 20 weeks. Out of those 20 weeks, it takes your best 14 scores. So after 14 weeks, if you showed up every week, it'll start cutting out your worst scores. If
gotcha.
you got a 0 on the night, if you went for the do or die dare at the end. So this season just started. We're at week 2 of the season. They just had the championships a couple weeks ago. And this will go until late May. I want to say like the 3rd week in May.
Okay.
And then it'll be done. They'll have a championship, and then it'll be not a season for a while. For like a month, they'll just play for fun or whatever, but you still get the gift cards and stuff.
Okay.
But people that take it seriously and want to play during the season, they use the same name every week. Their points get accumulated.
Do you have to use the same name every week?
Only if you want your point. Only if you care about your points.
Yeah, so if you're like in the seasons with everyone, you have to use the same name then?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because if you change your name, then the points wouldn't accumulate.
Gotcha.
You have to go for 4 weeks with the same name before your points show up on their website.
Okay.
And you can track your status and all that on djtrivia.com, and that's also where you can get the clue of the day. They normally sometimes it's a little cryptic, but sometimes it's, they give a lot of clues. I mean, if I had to come up with the clue of the day every time, I guess mine wouldn't be so, I guess maybe I'd run out of original things to put too.
I was reading about that clue of the day today. So today is January 14th for those who are listening. Obviously, this isn't coming out for a couple weeks. But it says, here's a pizza promotion that definitely would not work, and not is in bold letters. Pizza with stuffed Earth's crust. Earth's is in big bold letters. So I assume that means that's like a hint. Must be. Hard pass. It's one thing to keep up with the Kardashians, but quite another to keep up with the Baldwins. We'll find out how well you've done that this evening. You also may want to read up on vice presidents. In honor of our video game question this evening, bring in your favorite and show it to your host for 10 bonus points at the end of round 2 before the Double Down Dare. Please present your bonus when you sign up or anytime before the Double Down Dare at the end of round 2. Remember, you may use this or your email bonus, but not both. So there's the clue of the day.
Yeah, and that's something that the email bonus I don't dig, right? I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it to get people to sign up.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember before that happened, I would be in Goodwill looking for a mystery novel to get the bonus points. You couldn't just get them by showing an email and choosing a question to double up.
Gosh, yeah.
I mean, it used to be, there was times, I'd be calling all my teammates, hey, do you have one of these? Do you have a figurine of a pig or, whatever. I thought that was more fun.
Trying to find something to bring. Like
Right.
show and tell for adults.
Exactly. But yeah, what I wanted to clear up about DJ Trivia too is I've never been crazy about the name. I know why it's called DJ Trivia because we host it like a DJ. We play a song in between each one.
Yep.
But I think people might get the misconception that it's all about music.
Sure.
And
sure.
it is general trivia. They have various categories from science to geography to NFL to presidents. It's all over the place. And some nights it might seem like more questions are geared towards a certain generation, and other nights not so much.
Yeah.
And I think they do great with the questions that they have. And some of them are user submitted and also reviewed then to make sure that they're accurate.
Sure.
So I think what I'm trying to say is like it is just the scope of it. It's not just music trivia, but knowing music can help you. Now, they don't give away answers like they used to a lot. It used to be like where there would be, years ago when I played, like, say, 2016, there'd be a song about the universe or something, and they'll play the song Drops of Jupiter, and the answer happened to be Jupiter.
Sure.
Yeah, but now it's more cryptic than that. Now it's like just having knowledge of the bands. They don't normally give away answers. Normally the song has something to do with the question. For instance, we had a song about apocalypse, or a question about Apocalypse Now the other night.
Okay.
And what book was it written based on? And it was Heart of Darkness. And they played a song by Heart. Now, if you don't know who Heart is, it's not going to help you. But if you know who Heart is, it definitely would have helped you on that.
Well,
one.
there's a Tupac album called Tupacalypse.
Oh, there you go.
That would have been something that I would have thrown in there probably.
Right? And they don't always help. I mean, and sometimes they might lead you the wrong way. But so I wouldn't say count on the song, but it can help sometimes.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite category? Like when you're
Oh,
playing,
flags. Fun with flags.
Is that an actual category, or would that be
an actual
under?
category?
Okay, I thought maybe that'd be geography or something.
No, it used to be world flags, and there were state flags. Now it's just fun with flags.
So you're good at flags.
Yeah, for some reason I used to like looking at encyclopedias and just memorizing flags and stuff.
Now that's something I would never have thought of.
Geography, I love geography. When I was a kid, I used to love looking at maps in school. And on summer break one time, I made a map of the world by gluing pieces of paper together, going off a globe is all I had. So it was all distorted and weird. But
Sure.
I just love maps.
So I want to know what you've been playing for a while in the Winona area, and then you're hosting in Holman. What is our scene like in Winona? Is there like a category, or is there topics that do better in our area, maybe compared to a different area?
Well,
at all?
I've only played in La Crosse area, or I've only hosted in La Crosse area a few times.
Okay.
But no, I mean so most people just groan when flags comes up.
Yeah, we
But
would.
then you
I
got
would.
your nerds like me who just like yes, and that's what I wish I was playing. but so certain things, nerd knowledge, people groan when that one comes up. My team always groan when baseball comes up because it comes up like every week.
Okay.
Major League Baseball, and that was not our strong suit. I could do NHL and NFL, but any other sport, forget about it. So, Twin Bluffs, we got a different crowd. It's a lot quieter. It's everyone's in it. There's normally only 5 or 6 teams, so you got a really good chance of getting a prize if you go there.
I might have to show up. Was it Mondays?
Mondays at 6:30. Yep.
Oh man, I might have to show up to that one.
And it should soon be coming to the Goodview Bar.
Yes, because the Goodview Bar is got a new owner, right?
What's that?
Has it got a new owner now? Because I saw it was up for sale.
Same owner as Twin Bluffs.
Okay.
Dave Brumerick is in the process of buying the Goodview Bar.
Well, that makes sense why it would also come to Goodview Bar then too with DJ Trivia.
Yeah, and it might not be it might not be an addition. We'll see how it does at Twin Bluffs, but
Okay.
it is picking up speed there. So I'd be willing to do a third night if need be.
So do you play anymore then? Or are you just
Nah,
strictly
I mean, I
hosting?
wish I could. Like, when my team went to the championships and I wasn't hosting, it would have been nice to go and play with them.
Yeah.
But the fact is technically I could cheat. I can preview the questions.
Yeah.
I don't because I like to be as surprised as everyone else.
Sure.
But, I mean, I used to don't. I used to not. Now I'm told that we're supposed to proofread the questions so we know how to pronounce everything.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, though. Even if I proofread it, I still can't pronounce some of those stuff.
Right. So you're sitting there itching. You're like, oh, I know this answer. I want to help you guys, but I can't.
Yeah.
Do you feel like trivia is pretty honest where people are not using their cell phones and stuff?
Exactly.
Do you feel that it's pretty? Do you feel the people in trivia are pretty honest?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt because what are we playing for? A gift card?
Right. You're not
Split a
playing.
$20 gift card between 5-6 people. I mean,
It's not even a beer hardly.
and if you're going to go to league and you're going to cheat, you're going to get schooled when you get to the championship.
Right.
If you cheated your way there. The thing is I typically have 10 to 15 teams. Yes, I can't watch everyone. Other teams watch others. There have been some that have been accused of cheating, and teams really take offense to that because and they get There's this one team that they come in, they'll leave their phones by me when they go to the bathroom, even after they turned in their answer. Like, I know you're not cheating, you're good, but they don't want to have any bit of doubt.
Yep.
So if there's ever a suspected cheating, I will make an announcement, say like, hey, make sure if you're using your phone, you're coming up by me after you turn in your answer. But I mean, I just can't picture anyone that would play trivia that would cheat because it would take the fun out of it.
Yeah.
It'd be like, it'd be like an NFL team, playing against a bunch of high schoolers.
Right. Well, when I first started playing trivia, I didn't realize how smart there are of people out there that just know these most random facts, questions, and I'm like, how the hell do they know that? And then I'm like, they gotta be cheating. And then all of a sudden I played with some of these people. I'm like, no, they aren't. They just know this kind of stuff. I'm like, what?
And it's all about having a varied team too,
Yeah, you do need a very
we had a movie guy. He knows especially manly movie, Marvel movies.
Yeah.
When I used to play with my sister. She knew me and her were both great at trivia, but totally different categories.
Sure.
I suck at literature and stuff like that, but you give me history, geography.
Okay.
NHL, NFL. That's my jam. Pop culture. And so, then age difference. It's nice to have older people on your team because there might be some boomer questions coming up,
Yeah.
or last night we had something about a family affair, which was a little bit before my time.
Sure.
And then there's stuff that comes up that would benefit to be fresh out of high school. So there's all kinds of questions, all different categories, and nobody knows everything, but everybody knows something.
Yeah, I'm always trying to think, like, what's my specialty? And I would think it would be sports, but then they get a sports question sometimes of like, holy cow, like, I didn't look at that much detail into these sports.
Yeah, it's some really obscure stuff sometimes.
How many people were at the World Series in 1988 on Game 7? Like, I don't know. Actually, I had a buddy one time. He could tell you almost the attendance at a lot of like the pay-per-views for wrestling. For WWE pay-per-views, he could tell you almost where it was located, what the date was, how many people were in attendance. I'm like, how do you know that? That's just nuts. So that's just not me. I think pop culture is what I would do the best in.
Yeah.
Pop culture. I know dates. And times of like, when did this album come out? When did that movie come out? I know that, but that's like useless facts, I guess.
Those are good on the tiebreakers. It's almost always a date or some kind of number.
Sure.
Yeah, and the thing is about trivia is people know more than they think they do.
Yeah.
And I think everyone, once they play, they have a really good time. And it's my job to kind of help that along. Now, I get to sit and tell my shitty jokes, but it's not just...
That's what makes it
I'm
fun.
not just trying to be funny. I got to make this last a certain amount of time. Our job is to keep the people in the bar, get them ordering food.
Yep.
It can go up to 2 hours. You got to make it go at least an hour and a half, which is really hard around Christmas because half the questions were Christmas questions. They play a Christmas song in between. They're like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
So I had to do a lot of jabbering and extra advertising and whatnot. But, I mean, I just love... I love the whole scene that I want to make this as good as I can. It's ran by SKG Entertainment in the area. He's based out of Scott Gums. He's based out of Holman. And they have it like I said, about a 50-mile radius. They got it in Sparta. They got Fort McCoy. They got that one that starts at West Salem, Berry Mills, La Crosse, now Twin Bluffs. Got La Crescent. And the thing is like, all these DJs I've worked with, we do group text report, how many people we get each week and all that. And they're all great. They're all super nice. I haven't had to have anyone sub for me yet, but I know that I would be able to find someone to come down from the La Crosse area, because unfortunately, I'm the only one in the Winona area that does it.
Oh, okay.
Sean Olson used to do it. You might know him from the Freezers and other things.
Okay.
He used to do it, and he got tired of it. He went for vacation last year for like 6 weeks in Mexico, and then we were going to alternate every other month or whatever. He came back. He did it like 1 or 2 weeks, and he called me up. He's like, "You just want to do it?" Like,
I guess.
And then I had to make a decision, and my team was pissed at me. But really, I kind of lost. It wasn't as fun anymore.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd give it a try. I was having fun while he was on vacation, slowly getting more comfortable in front of the mic, which was very hard for me at first. I was very stiff. And I really got to liking it, And, I liked it so much that I bought my own set of stuff so I could possibly do other stuff on the side, I did my former company that I worked for, Acuity Brands. I did their company picnic this summer. I did my friend's wedding, which was very small. It was at the gazebo. And it wasn't trivia, but I played the music for their walk down the aisle and all that. And then I went to his house later on and played some music for their reception. I'm going to be doing my son Tristan's wedding in August. And so I got my own stuff I can use for that. But as far as trivia, and one more thing I want to plug about DJ Trivia is this not just the pubs around here. You can hire them to do private events. I did a private event at the Caledonia Country Club it's like Habitat for Humanity, but that area. I don't remember what it's called. But I did that, and that was mostly cool, except for that my music didn't work that night.
So did you do a cappella? You sing yourself?
I didn't. I had a playlist that I play before and after trivia on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I just threw some songs in.
That works, though.
It worked.
Nobody would have known the difference besides you, probably.
People had a great time.
Yep.
Well, the timer didn't match up.
Oh, sure. That's right, because it is timed, isn't it?
Yeah. So you have to the end of a song, and when there's a minute left, you get a little hourglass up in the corner. But it doesn't matter. They had a blast. I recognized some of the people there from other trivia teams that played in the area. And so anytime I've subbed at a venue, it's been just the best, because I'm so nervous about it because I don't know these people. It's easy at Wellington's. I've been playing trivia with those guys for years. They already know who I am. Mm-hmm. They're my people.
Yep.
But then in front of strangers, I thought I would just lock up. It's a complete opposite. I'm even more relaxed because I just don't care.
Sure. Well, you kind of already know, since you've been playing, you know what to expect. You know the people are there to have fun time and relax. Nobody's really there to give you a hard time, at least I hope not.
No.
People have given me a hard time when I've said a question and then I may have had the wrong answer.
Oh, my old team gives me a hard time. If I got 2 seconds where there's no music or speaking, dead air.
Oh, no. Hecklers in the front.
But you got to understand, with 15 teams turning in their answers at the last second and maybe adding bonus points, like sometimes I just can't get everything entered by the end of the song.
So it's just you running it. You don't have a partner helping you.
No.
Okay.
And which is great about Wellington's, because I started out 10 to 15 teams every week, right?
Yep.
That's how I learned. I go anywhere else with like 6 teams. I'm like, what do I do with all this time?
Right, you're like, I got plenty of time here to do whatever I need to do. But that's really cool that you said that you actually are more comfortable when you're going now in front of more people, which you said to me earlier that you were kind of shy person when you were younger.
Very shy.
Very, very shy. So you've actually opened up by getting this gig.
A lot of events over the last few years has really helped me come out of my shell.
Okay.
One, I switched jobs, got with new people who have been great, but they got me into doing like Halloween contests and stuff like that. And
okay.
Something you got to understand about our building is it's not a Halloween contest. It's a talent show. You're doing a skit or you're not going to win.
Okay.
And we've taken second place a couple times. We did Shrek one year. We took second place. So we did. There's always this one team that was always beating us. And this year we did Price is Right, and we frickin' nailed it. My sister, you know Danica.
Okay, yep.
She was the wheel. She made this wheel. It was all lit up and stuff. I was Bob Barker because I'm the old fat one. Well, Bob Barker wasn't fat, but you know.
He was the old one.
He was the old one. So I was Bob Barker, and I killed it. Everyone killed it. The contestants were like these crazy characters, crazy cat lady and the stoner, and just our deal lasted like 5 minutes, and we just nailed it.
Yeah.
And we got first place this year. We got the trophy, and we're already thinking about what to do next year. You know, you got to plan that far ahead.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's that kind of thing. It's that playing kickball with them, and I got them to come out to trivia a couple times. It's that kind of stuff that got me more comfortable with these people and where I could really feel like myself around them.
Sure.
And so I kind of got to reinvent myself because none of these people knew me other than my son. None of these people knew me. Whereas at my old job, everybody knew me. I kind of would hold back a little bit. You know, you got to judge who you can let yourself, who I can show myself to, you know.
Right.
So, not physically, but you know.
Well, you'd be fired then.
Yeah. I am one to flirt with HR a little bit, but no, I've really opened up over the last couple of years. It was something around my 50th birthday, maybe a little before. I just said, F it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Be myself.
I'm married. I've been married for 30 years, with her for 34. I'm not looking to score any, you know, I'm not looking to pick up any babes or anything.
Yeah.
I got my kids. A lot of them are dorky like me and grew up watching the same kind of shit. It's like, this is who I am. And I just don't care about impressions anymore.
Well, I want to go back to the trivia portion. I want to know, what do you think makes for a good trivia night? What makes it what makes everyone have fun? Is there something you can do as the host, or is there anything that you can control that makes it more fun one night maybe compared to another night? Is it more teams or?
So it might technically be an autistic info dump.
Okay.
But I like to give people some extra information after questions, even if it's not written there. Certain things I know about, I'll add my own insight to the answers. And it's tough to think of one right off the bat, but how I was going on about England and Britain before, stuff like that. I do tell my shitty jokes. I try not to get like political, but I can a little bit. Like, for instance, we had a team called the Alcatraz swim team.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I said in the news this week when they were talking about alligator Alcatraz, I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying, just saying in the news this week, the Alcatraz swim team.
Sure.
So I try to keep it, because you got everyone that's playing, You don't want to offend anyone. And I just, last week I called out a team that I was subbing at. So, at the end of each round, you wager your points to double up your score. Well, this team didn't have any points that round. So I said, well, this team, might as well go for it because you got nothing to lose.
Right.
So, I like to keep it lighthearted.
Yeah.
And really the people, especially at Wellington's, is what gave me the confidence to keep going with it because I just got such positive reinforcement. And my parents are there and they don't know who the hell I am anymore. It's like, because they saw me playing. I mean, I'm not this outgoing. They saw me throughout my whole life, being shy and having a tough time making friends and all that. And so I think they really get a kick out of me doing this stuff now.
Sure. Well, yeah, it's gonna be kind of fun for them. Like, hey, I don't remember Jason being like this back in the day. Now all of a sudden he gets on the mic and he's good to go. So that's kind of cool. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about was a little bit more about getting behind the mic. And is there some behind the scenes things that people don't see that you have to do and then nobody even knows about?
I used to stutter really bad.
Okay.
Growing up, I used to go to speech class. I didn't speak full sentences, or I didn't speak until I was 4, and I started in full sentences. I think my mom said, I asked my grandpa if I could have a glass of water or something. I would chirp, and I had my own language going on. As I got I still would struggle with certain consonants throughout grade school and high school, but I had a good vocabulary. So I basically had a thesaurus going on in my head. I would sub in words.
Sure.
If I would get stuck on the K consonant or the K, I would sub in a different word. Even when I worked at Winona Lighting, there was some dude's name I could not say if I spoke it into the phone. If I was paging someone, I couldn't say his name. And it usually didn't show up at work, but the other time it did is when they would make us do trainings, and we would each have to take a turn reading. That sucked. I hated that. Eventually I went to the person, I'm like, I ain't doing this anymore.
Do you remember the first night when you hosted trivia, what it was like?
Yeah, and really the stutter has gone away for the most part. I still get hung up every now and then.
I think other people do even that don't struggle with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens.
But the first night, it was just kind of like, I was just trying to make sure I didn't do stuff wrong, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's
Points,
like, I
I
was
feel
trying
like
so hard not to
most.
screw up that I was very stiff. And it was like, when I just thought about it, people are there to play trivia. They don't care.
Yeah.
I remember the guy that subbed the year before me. He was a nice guy. Was very stiff when he hosted for 6 weeks or whatever. But you know what? Who cares? No one cared because we still got to go there and play trivia.
Yeah. You know, and that's the one thing you got to remember. People are there to have fun. They're taking their minds off of work or anything that's going on in the news or any problems they have, coming there just to have some fun. I go to trivia knowing I'm most likely not going to win, but I'm there to have a good time. So,
right.
And that's the fun.
And some people are there just for the socializing aspect. And great. You know, the more the merrier. Some people, they'll come in with no intention of playing trivia. They'll be sitting at the bar for a couple questions, and they're like, oh, hey, I think I might want to play.
Yeah.
And you can sign up anytime, you know.
And you said it's free.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's free.
cost
Last
anything.
night we had this huge team, some Fastenal team building thing was in there. They were bowling, and then they came into the bar to play. And they hopped right in, and they started kicking ass. They got right into the game. They came in round halfway.
Yeah.
And they kind of fizzled out towards the end, but they were very competitive for a while.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can. And the cool thing about the format is, you know, the last question of the night, you can wager all your points on the last question. You can either double up your points or end up with zero. So everyone's always in it.
So at the trivia I go to at the brewery, I've taken second place multiple times with 1 point left because we'll bid like, even if we had 2 points, we bid like 0 or 1, and then everyone else went all in and nobody got it right. And then I'm like, well, that worked out. So I always tell people when I'm hosting at the brewery, I go, even if you got like 5 points right now and we're in the last round, don't worry. I have taken second place with like 1 point before.
Yep.
So don't worry about it.
And speaking of trivia at 2 Fathoms now, I'm purposely trying not to compete with that because I know how popular it is. Mm-hmm. So if I do get another venue in town, I'm purposely trying not to do it on Thursday.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's been popular. I know a lot of those people that go there also play at Wellington's.
Yep, they do.
And even at Twin Bluffs, too.
Oh, really? They come down there
Yeah,
too?
well, because some of the Wellington's teams kind of like, some people can't go on Tuesdays anymore, but they can go on Mondays. So it's just nice to have the other option.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to compete with that. Wasn't my favorite format, but I only did it like once. But I respect it, and I don't want to take any business away from anyone else who's having success with trivia.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to have. I always say our community in Winona, people sometimes don't give enough credit, but we're all pretty nice to each other, kind to each other, looking out for each other.
It's Minnesota.
And that's just Minnesota, I suppose, in general. But I always think of the Winona, like, you're not trying to step on anybody's toes by bringing DJ trivia somewhere else. You're like, hey, it's on this night here. I don't want to take away from them, and maybe even vice versa. And so we'll try to do it another night that would work out. And I don't know, does anybody do it on Wednesdays?
That would be my next choice.
All right, because I was going to say, I have nothing going on tonight. And
I'm not doing Fridays. I'm not doing Sundays. Football, you know.
Do you think people would come out on the weekend like that? I don't know if they would.
They do a couple of venues in the lacrosse area.
Do they?
There's a
Okay.
Holman, I think it's a brewery
Okay.
that has trivia. They just started on Sunday afternoons.
Well, there's like, was a 608, I think, has a Holman tap room. I don't know
Yep.
okay,
That's
so
it. And then Red Pines also does it Sunday afternoons. But if the Packers game happens to fall on it, then they'll cancel it for that day.
They don't just push it off till the evening or something?
Nope.
No.
In the summer, they did it at the lacrosse center on the terrace.
Oh,
And
really?
They had very big success there. And that was on Friday nights.
It does seem fun though, because you're kind of downtown. You're within walking distance of restaurants and everything. You can just come and go as you please, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you what, when me and Mandy used to do date nights, we would go to Love Child on Fridays.
Oh, people tell me that place is great. I've never
It
been
is
there.
excellent. It's top notch. They don't try to rush you out of there. The service is top tier. I hate that they don't have Bloody Marys anymore. That's my favorite drink. But you feel like you want to leave like a really good tip every time because they're just great.
Sure.
The food's always top notch. Anyway, when they first opened, me and Mandy went there for like every week, and then we would stop at the Nut Bush and go hit up DJ Trivia for.
Oh, yeah, they have it there too?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they have it on Fridays anymore, but yeah, it's at so many venues in La Crosse. That's why it was so weird because like even West Salem and Sparta, they have more venues than Winona. And so I kept looking for a place to get it to go in Winona. And I'm looking at the bars downtown, and a lot of them are so small. And I don't go to bars a lot anymore, but I was just looking at some of them and thinking about the crowd I get at Wellington's. I'm like, there's no way these guys.
You have to have like a lounge. It's got to have.
No, you don't have to.
Well, I feel like it's got to have a lot of seating because if you have like 10 to 15 teams, that could be consisting of 5 people eat. That's 50 people in those small bars down here.
But I look at some of these numbers from the La Crosse area, and some of these, they're more like my Twin Bluffs numbers. They're more like 5 teams, 25 people.
Okay.
Wellington's is kind of an anomaly. There are, week after week, the most populated venue, consistently. I mean, last night I had close to 100 people.
Really?
Really.
Holy smokes, that's a lot.
And I'm proud of that. So even if I will not give up Wellingtons. I don't care how many bars Dave buys. I'm not giving up Wellingtons. I love it. I inherited a good thing from Shawno.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is it's work, but it's not. Like I'm having a great time just being there. I'm still experiencing trivia. I'm still with my trivia people, but I'm just not playing.
And that's okay because it sounds like you found a place in hosting. It sounds like you're having a great time with it as well.
Yeah.
So now I want to go back on to you said you got diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
How'd you find that out?
Okay, so
And this is like recently, huh?
yeah, so one of my children was diagnosed while he was in school. Mm-hmm. And Mandy's like, you guys are just like each other. And and then I started thinking about some of the things that make me tick, my collections and how I was really into trains when I was younger and how I obsess about my collections. I'll go down one line and have to get all of it and then go to the next one and get all of it. And so basically, when I decided I needed to get tested, I was struggling at work. And it was just pissing me off. I accepted not a new role, but a different role where it was a different kind of thinking. It wasn't repetitive. And I didn't succeed at it. And that's the first time I wasn't the best at what I did, ever.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to say it. I don't care if it sounds cocky. I was the best waiter. I was the best receiver at Winona Lighting, in my opinion. I was efficient, and I took a lot of pride in my work. And so I'm coming here, and I'm in supply chain, and I'm like, they're all beefing me. Oh, yeah, we think you can do this. I'm like, great, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And I just didn't do well at it. And so I guess I got diagnosed more as a peace of mind. Also because I hit my out-of-pocket maximum. Healthcare in this country doesn't pay for shit until you hit your out-of-pocket maximum.
Sure.
So I hit that, and I got my diagnosis in level 1 autism, which is Asperger's, pretty much. It's not like, so my shirt says I'm visibly on the spectrum. That's actually not what level 1 is. Level 1 is like you can look at a guy and be like, not know, but certain tics. So certain ways they learn. Me, I need repetition. Okay. I need very visual learning. I can't do Teams meetings to learn. And it was more for peace of mind than anything because I was so hard on myself for a lot of things, and I would get really down on myself when I couldn't succeed at something. I remember being in high school and almost failing algebra, and I was a really smart guy. But then when I got to geometry, which uses algebra, once it was put shapes to those letters, then it clicked.
So geometry is what you succeeded in?
A+ at geometry.
Well, I know I went from St. Martin's, and then I went to the high school, and I went to geometry right away. And eventually they're like, hey, you haven't taken Algebra 1 yet. I'm like, yes, I did. I took it at St. Martin's. Like, well, it wasn't the public system, so yeah, go back and do that again. So I went back and took that, and I was terrible at it. I literally got like a C- at best. And I went to geometry, and I was getting a B+ the next year. I'm like, so I understand how that works. Like, I'm better at the visualization. And so I was in, like, what was it called? Tech geometry. So we were working with our hands a lot. So that one really helped me out in the math aspect of things.
And I found out certain other things I do, like the way I fidget a lot, and they call it autism jaw. I grind my teeth a lot when I'm thinking or when I'm stressed out. Just certain things that I've been doing my whole life that I didn't realize were associated with autism.
For sure.
And so, I mean, not like I'm looking for sympathy or handouts or anything. It is a disability, but it's definitely one I can live with.
Okay.
And I have lived with. It's called masking, acting normal. And what people don't realize, a lot of people with autism, they're night owls because they don't have to mask anymore. They can go home, crack open a Busch Light, start shit posting on Facebook, and and just no one from the world expects anything of them. Everyone else is in bed. That's their time to just decompress.
Okay.
So that's the best is dropping the mask a little bit, and I kind of always did it with Mandy, but now that she knows she says she knew I had autism before, but now that she knows, she seems less tolerant of it. It's like, I don't got time for your autism shit.
Very blunt.
Yes.
Well, that's Mandy, though. That's Mandy.
Right.
Very blunt.
So, yeah, it is hereditary. It's not Tylenol. I do like to make jokes about it, but it is hereditary. My grandpa used to sit on his porch. He lived right by the tracks, and he'd count all the cars on the freight trains. Who the hell does that?
Who's your uncle?
Who's my uncle?
Or would you say your grandpa?
Yeah, it's my
grandpa. Sorry, I think
yeah.
it's your uncle. Who's your grandpa?
Well, he's dead.
Oh, he must have. So did he know each one that went by and how many there were?
Yeah, he would tell me, hey, there was one with like 337 today. That's a new record. I'm like, oh, great. And then I'd go over there and I'd be with him counting them. I'd be getting dizzy. I couldn't do it.
That's crazy. Well, that's interesting. So you found out or you didn't find out, but you realized that your new position that you weren't succeeding like you thought you would.
Right.
And that was like the first indication.
And what's great about that place is they realized it too. And they're like, you know what? You're a good worker. We want you to be yourself again. Mm-hmm. They saw how stressed I was getting, how I was beating myself up. And so they put me back in my old, like I said, same position, but different responsibilities.
Sure.
Different sort of buying. It was more of a domestic buying instead of this one-off stuff.
Sure.
And they that's what makes it great is they try to find your strengths and they help you succeed.
Okay, gotcha.
So, so I always tell my kids this, you never shit on your old job. They gave me a paycheck for 26 years, but it was time for me to move on. Mm-hmm. My body was hurting, and I'm just so glad that I found something that I really enjoy.
That's good. And you get to work with your kid.
I get to work with my son.
That doesn't sound too terrible to me.
Nope.
So what would you say to someone that may be experiencing what you were experiencing, maybe at a younger age? Would you say, hey, go get it looked at and figure out how to deal with it? Or something you tell
because
someone?
what people don't realize is masking, acting normal is really taxing on your mental health.
Okay.
And so the earlier you can get diagnosed, if you have any, the earlier you can get help. With my son, it was getting help within school. It was getting, not special treatment so much, just sometimes maybe a little break on memorizing stuff, maybe different ways of approaching things. And so, whereas me, I just almost failed at algebra, you know? Whereas if I might have known and had some help. But, I mean, back then Asperger's wasn't considered part of the autism umbrella.
Okay.
Back then autism was Rain Man. That's all people
the
knew
movie.
about it. Yeah. That's all people knew about it.
Sure. Yeah.
Or nonverbal, and there's like 3 levels of autism. There's Asperger's, there's level 1 like me. Then there's the ones that need help doing things, can't work a job by themselves and stuff. And then there's like nonverbal and basically can't live by themselves.
Okay.
Or actually, level 2 and 3, I think neither of them can live by themselves. I mean, obviously, I can hold down a job. I can have a family. Just a little goofy sometimes, and maybe a little fixated on things like flags or, world capitals.
Well, that brings me up. You were talking about trains. You said, well, maybe that was my fascination with trains. Is that like an autism thing, or is that just something funny?
The joke is, but it just kind of, like, I just liked trains when I was a kid. I even played video games about trains. But it's not like that was like I'm a sci-fi guy. I was in outer space my whole life.
Yeah.
From Star Wars to Battle of the Planets to Buck Rogers. That was my bread and butter.
Okay. So what other things are you into then other than flags and trains? I mean, I know that obviously you're a San Francisco fan because you're wearing a jacket.
Since Super Bowl 16 in 1980.
And that would have been with Joe Montana against the Bengals,
That was Joe Montana's
maybe?
first Super Bowl, yeah.
Was that against the Bengals, or who was that one against?
That was against the Bengals. It's a funny story because I was staying at my aunt's house, and I didn't really care about either team, but I liked flashy outfits,
Yeah.
I liked the gold and the red. I liked the Bengals, too. I liked that they look like tigers,
Yeah, their helmets are cool.
But they were all cheering for the Bengals. And me being a geography nerd, I saw this guy's name was Montana. I'm like, that's a state. I'm cheering for this guy. They won. Stuck with them. They won a few more in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then one in the 90s. And they had some dark times. Still stuck with them.
Yep.
And the last 10 years, or ever since Shanahan's come along, they've been pretty good. And
Yeah.
give me something to cheer about. They took down the Eagles last week. I don't have high hopes for them because they're all busted up, but anything can happen.
But they're still in it, better than my Vikings are doing. So
Yeah, yep.
So, okay, you kind of talked. It sounds like you kind of like to nerd out on things.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it? A lot
Yep.
of people call it that. What are other things you're into then?
So and this is real nerd shit. This is like one of the top turnoffs for women. Two of them.
Okay.
I love
if you don't
video
want to
games.
score a woman, this is what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, if you don't want a woman. So I love video games. I grew up with Pong, Atari,
Okay.
Nintendo. Gen X was the perfect time to grow up because you got from the beginning to what it is now. And now I'm with the new controllers. I'm like, nah, I'm not even trying the Xbox anymore. I'm a PC gamer.
All right.
But so yeah, I get into video games, MMORPGs,
And RPGs is role
role-playing games. MMO is
Okay.
massive multiplayer role-playing.
Okay. Now, I grew up with Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and then 64 and Sony. So I'm not big into it, but I know some of those terminologies.
So you wouldn't think a shy guy was into online play too much, but I made some really good friends playing World of Warcraft that I still talk with on chat all the time, out in California and Scotland. And so I don't necessarily interact a ton with other people when I'm on the games if I don't have anyone I'm playing with, but I like being part of an interactive world.
Sure.
And it's a nice escape from reality.
Now, do you think that you're better off getting along with people online because you're not face to face with them? Because you said you were shy before. Was it easier because you didn't see them?
Actually, no. I'm just as shy online.
Okay.
It's really when I get to know you, I can let my guard down. I still have most of my friends from childhood or from high school who knew me for me. We go out every few months and get dinner. But yeah, I really hated high school for the most part.
Okay.
People were assholes. But I had curly afro hair.
Really?
Couldn't do anything about it. It was naturally curly.
Yeah.
And braces and glasses, and I just looked the part. It's cool to be a nerd now. It wasn't cool back then.
Yeah. Well, now I think the people know that there's more people out there that are just like them because they can find them online and be like, hey, you're into this same thing. Like something I kind of nerd out about is sports cards. I know it's kind of nerdy-ish, but then there's other people that are in Pokemon cards and stuff like that.
So you got a nice collection here, right? So now
Yeah.
my collection's little plastic guys. So
Okay.
I like to collect toys from my childhood.
And what would that consist of? Like what kind of toy specific?
Yeah, so it started with Star Wars.
Okay.
I don't have anything from my childhood, really, except for one Star Wars figure that I got when my sister Danica was born. That's the only one I have from my original childhood. But I went back and got them all on eBay and stuff.
Sure.
Once eBay became a thing, I spent way too much money. For a while, I was in competition with one of my friends, and it's like, who was going to have the bigger collection? Started buying some of the modern stuff, eventually dropped off of that because can't keep up. It doesn't have the value, and I just don't care anymore. I want the stuff from my childhood. Moved from that to Transformers when my older two kids were little. I started showing them the old TV show, and then they wanted to play with them. So I started buying them on eBay. It was my excuse to build my collection. But we would get them out every Friday night and have Transformer War. Now, they're very nicely displayed on my display cases, and my grandsons play with them from time to time. They get one or two of them out and play with them, and every now and then one breaks, and then I got to replace it.
Darn it, eBay's back.
And then I was kind of done for a while, right? And a couple of years ago, around the same time I started working at my new job, I got into buying my father-in-law, also Dave Brumrick, different Dave Brumrick,
Yeah,
senior.
the inspection guy.
He gave me some He-Man Masters of the Universe figures that he picked up at a swap meet.
Yeah.
Weren't worth a ton, but they just look cool, right? And I had those for about a year, and then I started buying a couple here or there, got into some collector groups on Facebook, and now I got a whole display case full of them. But I kind of went nuts, And I'm like, I'm making more money now. I guess I could spend more money.
Sure.
Yeah, well, it caused a little friction with the wife,
Now you got the big kid money.
And then latest couple years ago, I was at Goodwill in La Crosse, and I found a G.I. Joe figure, a vintage one from the 80s. Didn't have its accessories, but that put me down another rabbit hole. All of a sudden, I made a couple trades. I had some more, and then I had to get all the ones I had as a child, and then I did get the ones I didn't have as a child, and now I got a whole display case full of those. I would say, though, the communities on Facebook, especially the G.I. Joe one, they're super nice and helpful. I've got some freebies thrown at me. Oh, hey, you don't have this? Here, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
And so I've returned that, there's certain things I don't care about, like the backs of the cards or something I might mail off to people because I just don't care about that kind of stuff. I just want them to display.
Yep.
And then I went on to Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers because I had some of those when I was a kid, which led me to getting a 3D printer.
Oh, you got a 3D printer.
Yeah, and it's real entry level, but what it did is it let me take out some of my old Star Wars ships and stuff that were all busted up. And so many free files out there people put, and I was able to make them look really nice.
Really?
And even complete ships. Did you watch The Mandalorian at all?
Nope.
Well, if you do, his ship, it gets blown up in season 2. Sorry, but it's your own fault if you didn't watch it yet. It was like years ago. Anyway, ship's this freaking big. I downloaded all the files for free.
Okay.
It took me days to print. And sometimes prints go bad, and you got to start over. But it's all printed, glued together, and it fits the vintage figures in it, and
That's cool.
Awesome.
How long does something like that take to make?
They had 3 main pieces. Each one took about 20 hours.
Okay.
And then various little pieces, and then you got to glue it together, and it's very, very cool, the people that make this stuff.
That's cool.
And so I started making, accessories for some of my figures because I'm all about display, not so much about value. I mean, I do have some nice valuable pieces. I got lucky at an estate sale, or I had a buddy who's not a Star Wars collector, but he had this piece, and I told him what it was worth, and he sold it to me for a fraction of what it was worth because he knew it was a grail piece for me.
Okay.
So that's the kind of people I've met. I've gone to some swap meets in Rochester where we end up trading amongst ourselves because not many people came to it. But, it's just, it's that's my people.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at this guy. Oh, that dude's autistic. It's like, it's so easy. It's just, you just know now. You look at shows like The Big Bang Theory where I never watched it until someone told me I remind her of Leonard or Johnny Galecki's character.
Okay.
And he's not the one that's over the top autistic. Sheldon's the over top autistic one, but they're all autistic to some. They're all on the spectrum to some extent. They're awkward socially and tough to talk to women. I mean, Jesus, when I met Mandy, it's like I've been rejected a couple times already, right? So it's like she's making every move first. I was so scared to do anything.
Sure.
But I am a romantic. I mean, I remember every date. I remember our first kiss. I remember the first day we started going out. I actually celebrate that more than our regular anniversary because that's when my life changed.
Okay.
Didn't change when we got married. We were already living together. Mm-hmm. But my life changed when we started dating. And I do Mayday baskets and stuff now. I'm super romantic. I get flowers. It's like, what is this for? I'm like, don't you remember this is the day that we went here together?
Is that the autism?
That's the autism. No, dates, license plates. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't memorize whole plates, but the first 3 letters usually, and I'll make words that associate with them.
Yeah.
Like not your car, if it's NYR or NYC or something, or New York City.
My dad does that a lot, and so do I. Like, I know that my first part of my license plate starts with ECY.
Yeah.
I think we just see, and then we see him like at places like whenever we go to the casino, we walk down when you're going in. You can see if any of them are from Winona, because then on Minnesota they don't say what county you're from. You just have to know the letter scheme in different states. Like in Georgia, it actually says what county you're from. So we always like to do that and see if we recognize any from Winona.
Yeah, I got a good one on my truck now. It's RBF.
Oh, resting bitch face. yeah, that's a good one then.
Yeah. So, it's just certain things that most people don't remember. I think that's what makes me very good at trivia as well. Certain things stick that don't stick with other people.
Sure.
Flags.
Yep.
Names, capitals. And so it's not necessarily, it is a mental disability, but it's not like it's all bad.
Yeah.
There's definitely some, I've embraced it. I joke about it. I got a shirt that says autistic and ready to F. And I thank my sister because she's made me some of my clever shirts that I wear. I'm known at trivia for wearing my shirts. People are like, oh yeah, what shirt you got on today? I've embraced it. It's more of a weight off my chest, knowing that I've been kind of harder on myself than I needed to be. I need another one of those.
You need a refill, grab a refill there. Now, going back to the 3D printer, I think you said you were going to bring me something that was 3D printed. I guess I haven't really seen many 3D printed things in my life.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got a little something for you right here.
Oh, what was this?
That is a coctopus. You can see the head is in the shape of a penis, and all of his middle fingers are also the shapes of penises.
Okay, I'm going to try to show this to the camera. I hope you can see this. It is a coctopus, penis head, and it is flicking you off with dicks.
The 3D printing community is full of dicks. All sorts of naughty stuff, but dicks in particular. There's Cockosaurus, there's Pegasaurus, there's Triceratops. There's just all sorts. There's dick rabbits, there's dick chickens, there's dicks for everything.
That's great.
And it's all fun. Dicks don't scare me. I flirted with HR a little bit because I made certain coworkers snowflakes that were made out of dicks. They didn't realize it right away.
That's good. You didn't get fired.
You got to know who to trust.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. So I got the coctopus.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I'm keeping that on display here.
I have a whole Jurassic cock world full of creatures on my shelf.
Jurassic cock world.
Because it's just fun printing stuff.
Yeah. How long does something like that take to make?
That's like 2 hours maybe.
Okay.
Depending on, you get to know how your machine's working. Once I get the first couple layers on, I can bump up the speed a little bit.
Okay. Once you know how big the cocks are, how many there are, then it helps it out. Well, this is awesome.
It's good stuff. It's good fun. And there's so much free stuff out there. Like there's this site called Thingiverse. Everything on there is free. And then there's other ones that have, some people charge for stuff.
Yeah.
And other stuff is free. So
you basically get a template then.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I see how that is.
You get the template, you get to edit it how you want it to, how you want to print it, lay it flat, or like that one you print it flat, but other ones you got to turn a certain way and put supports on it.
Sure.
So it's a lot of playing around. I almost gave up a few times.
Okay. So it's not as easy as you think, huh?
No, I've had things break on it too. I got really good at taking it apart and putting it back together.
Gotcha.
Replacing parts on it. So, and like I said, mine's entry level. Mine's a couple $100.
Gotcha.
There are way better ones that are less trouble and that could do multiple colors at a time. And mine could just do one at a time.
Gotcha.
I'd like to upgrade someday, but the wife's not about it.
That's okay. It's maybe understandable.
It's like, you're not upgrading your printer so you can print a bunch of dicks. Those were for fun. People commission me to make some of those sometimes.
Well, as we're starting to wind down here, I want to go back to a little bit of the trivia portion, which you came in here mainly to talk about. But one of the questions I have is, for someone that's maybe going through level 1 of autism and getting out there and getting in front of people, what would you say is you just say, hey, just break through the wall and go do it? Or is there some piece of advice you would give to someone that's thinking about like, hey, I want to step outside the box here a little bit, but I'm a little shy? What worked for you, I guess?
Right. I'm going to bring up this term that I invented a year and a half ago or so. It's called anxiety quest.
Okay.
I'm scared of a lot of shit. I'm scared of being on a boat and not seeing land. I hate going over bridges. I've never flown on a jet. Stuff that's not in my control.
Yeah.
I've never taken my wife anywhere farther than South Dakota or Missouri.
Okay.
We've driven. We never went on a honeymoon. I need to take her on a proper vacation. I'd like to do a cruise in the Caribbean or maybe the Mediterranean. And so this is the first step. My money from trivia is going towards vacation.
Okay.
And the first step was getting over public speaking. I used to just dread it. Used to just clam up. I said, this is the way I can make some extra cash and put it away. So that's the first step. Next is going to be able to get on a plane and get on a boat.
Yeah.
I was on Lake Superior once on a fishing boat. I got a little seasick, but once I couldn't see land, I was kind of tripping. We were there for like 6 hours fishing for salmon, king salmon, and lake trout. And I wasn't a big fan of not seeing land. But I needed to do this for her and for me. We need to go and do something fun together. She deals with kids all day. She needs adult time.
Yes, yep.
And so I made this promise to myself and to her that this is going to happen. And so you basically just got to throw yourself into it.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yep.
When Sean went on vacation last year, I said, I'll be your sub. I want to learn how to do this. I'll be your sub.
Gotcha.
And I had the backing of the people there because they all knew me, made it easy. And once I did it at a couple of venues where I didn't know anyone, I even feel better when I do those. I came home last Thursday, and I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
I was really comfortable with myself. And, people are like, oh, my God, you got so much personality. And not like the other guy did. Other people like, oh, the other guy gets through it faster. I'm like, well, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But for the most part, great. I got to meet some great new people at a place I've never been to before. The staff was great. The patrons were great. And every time I do that, I wish I wasn't in Winona sometimes because those other venues are so far away and they're always looking for subs.
Sure.
Some of these other DJs that do it, they do it like they do it all the time. And I really wish that this was something that could be like something I could live off of, right? Because I enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
And so, I just had to make a decision that I'm going to do it.
Yep.
And I'm glad I did because I feel so much more at peace with myself. It's just like with the Halloween skits at work. I was very uncomfortable at first.
Yep.
Then I looked around, I saw everyone else is uncomfortable. All these kids that are younger that still care what people think about them.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do a talking part. I don't want,
Yep.
And it's like, wait a second. This isn't even me, but I'm killing it.
That's so just breaking through is kind of just the way you kind of got to do it a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I had so much fun playing. I want to bring this to as many people as I can.
Yes.
I love it. It sucked when COVID hit. When COVID hit, it stopped for a couple of years.
Yep.
Goovy Bar never did pick it up again. Luckily, Wellington's did. Thanks to my friend Deb King, who was friends with the owner, got it going there. COVID hit. I didn't know what to do. It was my only social outlet, really. So I started playing rock band, thinking I was singing pretty good, even though I wasn't. But the game lets me know it thinks I am.
Yeah. Well, now I see you got a poster there that you brought along. It looks, we'll put it here. I'll put my octopus back here for the moment. And
so this is just the two venues that I'm currently at.
All right, we'll just put it. You can just kind of explain it.
Yeah. So
I'll hold it. You can explain it.
yeah. So there's really not that much to explain. It's I do the Twin Bluffs Bar on Mondays at 6:30. Trivia generally lasts at least an hour and a half. Is done before 2 hours usually, unless there's a lot of tiebreakers. Twin Bluffs Bar, they have great food. It's bar food. It's pizzas and burgers and stuff, and they got a really great Philly sandwich. And it's just got these cod bites that my wife goes nuts about. Everything I've had there's been great. They make a good Bloody Mary. Wellingtons I do Tuesdays at 7. They have the best burgers in town. They got Plato's buns.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I used to alternate between burgers and chicken strips, and now I just get the burgers.
Yeah.
I'm not even messing around anymore. I love it. Staff's great. They always thank me personally. They come up to me and say, "Hey, thanks for coming." So it's just been a positive experience at both places, and I know it's going to be great at the Goodby Bar. That's where it all started. I know we're going to get some teams in there, and who knows where else.
And there's no certain date on that yet?
Nope. Like I said, that'll be discussed when they open.
Sure.
But I'm going to try to make sure not to compete with Two Fathoms.
Sure. And one thing to remember for those who are listening is DJ Trivia is just the name. It's not music.
It's just a name. They do bingo. They got DJ Bingo,
Sure.
which I asked for more information on because I'm not real familiar with it. But they do DJ Bingo. They do private events. They did Star Wars trivia one night at one of the venues. They've done Christmas trivia. And so, yeah, it's just fun.
Okay.
It's just fun. It's random. And I want to say, I don't know anyone that hasn't had fun when they come to play.
I always have fun no matter where I'm going to play trivia at any place. So even though I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room by any means, I still have fun going to do it. I don't know what it is. I think it's the camaraderie, meeting new people, or just seeing people that you see on a weekly basis is just kind of fun. It gives you a reason.
You got to look at it this way. You might not absorb everything, but you're going to absorb something.
Trust me, they've asked questions like 3 times in a row, and I've never remembered it. So you can. And so it's like you said, it's in right now. We have it at Twin Bluffs Bar on Mondays. We have it at Wellington's on Tuesdays, and this is just DJ Trivia. Soon to be in Goodview, possibly once again.
I mean, if you're at the La Crosse area or Holman, I mean, it happens every day except for Saturdays, I think.
Sure.
In the area.
Gotcha.
If you want to drive. And the cool thing is if you have a team that's playing league and you go play at a different venue under that team name, you can get 100 bonus points to put towards your league score.
Oh, nice.
At your primary venue.
So they kind of encourage you to go to other places and play.
Exactly.
That's kind of a cool thought. So for those who are listening, it can be just for fun. It is free, and you can actually play it just like you'd play any sport where there's seasons, there's playoffs, you said, and there's a final and all that kind of championship. Yep. So that sounds kind of fun for those who are maybe not sports people. This is where you can get a sports aspect, but with trivia. And for those who are smart, this is kind of the thing to do, I think. And even if you're not smart and you just want to have fun and go and have some beers and some burgers, sounds fun too.
There's people that know nothing but Disney movies.
Stuff comes up.
Stuff comes up. You know?
Are there any final thoughts that you would like to share that we didn't hit that you want anybody to know?
Well, I mean, we're always looking for more hosts. I am the only one in the Winona area right now. It'd be nice to have, someone that could fill in, especially if more places get interested in trivia. Yeah. My wife's going to divorce me if I do too many more venues. So, I mean...
Even after all these years?
Yeah, well, I mean, she says she wants to be home more, but, I was home with her over the Christmas break, and she wasn't really digging it.
You should say, come play trivia.
Yeah, and she doesn't play trivia. I wish she would, because I would like her to see me as this person, because it's not what I used to be at all.
She can come tally the points for free.
I mean, she could just come visit, but it's a late night. She gets to bed early. She wakes up early, and she gets to bed early.
Especially
and I'm
daycare.
like the opposite.
Yeah, it's daycare. You got to be up early, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. I'm so glad you came in here and talked about the trivia within the area, because it is something that has taken off quite a bit lately. So this is really cool. Any final thoughts you have?
No.
Well, I want to thank you, Jason, for coming on in and sharing all this knowledge of where trivia is, what it's going to be, your background, too. That's kind of fun to know that. I don't think people would have thought that you have autism.
Right. I mean, people that know me now would have never known I had such a bad stuttering problem when I was younger.
That, too.
It's just, it's all about getting comfortable with who you are.
That's great. Well, thank you, Jason, for coming on in. I'm going to plug in, where can they find this at? DJtrivia.com?
There's DJtrivia.com as the website.
Okay.
And you can put in your zip code, and it'll bring up all the venues within a certain mile radius.
Okay.
Facebook page for the local trivia here is DJ Trivia Midwest Coast.
Okay.
It's kind of a playful name, it's
Yeah.
West Coast, but Midwest Coast, like the river.
Yeah.
And the guy running it is SKG Entertainment, Scott Gums. If you're interested in having trivia at your place, he's the guy to talk to. If you want to come see me at Wellington's, or you can get a hold of me one way or the other, and we'd be happy to hook you up. I mean, of course, there is a fee to have it. It's not free.
Yep.
You pay a fee. Is a 6-week trial where you decide if you want to continue on or not, if it's going to be profitable for you. I would say, if you got a place with food, or even if you don't, if you got people in there drinking beers and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would think it's worth it, even with the gift cards you're giving out. I know it's got to be worth it for Wellingtons, because they're packing the house every week, and that's so awesome. I brag about that.
That's awesome.
And I'm hoping to get Twin Bluffs up there, and because it's just, I think people, once they play, they realize it's just so much fun.
Yeah. And it's no pressure. It's no pressure and it's free. That's the best part about it.
They don't got to pay to play.
Well, for those who are listening, I'll plug what Jason just said in the show notes below. So just go down and click on it. It'll take you to both of those places, the Facebook and then also the website as well. And also for those who are listening, if you don't mind, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the follow button if you're listening to audio. Please 5-star this, share this, comment. Maybe there's a favorite question. Maybe there's a favorite venue you like to play at. We would love to hear all about it. But again, this has been another episode of Brews Cruise. I want to thank Jason one more time by giving him a big cheers. Cheers.